Coffee lovers, this one's for you. I got to sit down with an amazing barista, Justin, from Climbing Wolf Coffee in New York, and we talked all things coffee.
My name is Justin. I'm a barista based out of New York, in Westchester, and I work at this place called Climbing Wolf in Dobbs Ferry. I've been a barista for about 4 years now, maybe a little bit longer. My first introduction to specialty coffee was in 2017 on a trip to San Francisco. I was looking for breakfast, and I ended up stumbling across the original Blue Bottle in Mint Plaza, and it was really cool because I didn't know that cup of coffee would probably steer the direction of my life in a way that has been amazing in so many ways. So
at that point, you were just drinking coffee. You loved coffee.
Yeah. I went in there. I had that first cup of specialty coffee. I had like a mocha, but it was kind of unlike anything I ever had before. I was kind of taken back a little bit. I didn't know coffee could taste that good, and it was unlike anything I ever had at Starbucks or Dunkin' or any chain coffee place. And I ended up going back to New York, and I ended up finding a place that was kind of comparable to what I was having, and I was just a customer, but I just kept falling in love with coffee more and more. I kept seeing videos of latte art and all this stuff, people brewing, and I was like, I want to do that.
So do you ever wonder what baristas have when they're home? Do they even have coffee? Do they even like coffee? Do they just have direct coffee or the Frisco? I had to find out from Justin.
At home, I would say probably a pour over is probably my go-to. I actually am lucky enough, since I work here, that I make most of my coffee here. I actually don't even really brew it much at home.
Right, yeah. You like your coffee at home, but I had to find out where are the places in New York where you can get a really good coffee, and what's the coffee scene like?
So how would you describe the coffee culture in New York as compared to other places you've been to?
I'm going to describe it as fast. And the reason why I say that is because in New York City specifically, I feel like there's a lot of shops that are just looking at coffee as almost as a commodity, which is what the opposite of what it should be. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of shops are only looking at the bottom line. And I know that's important, the business aspect of it, right? But I feel like there's not enough shops that are actually doing enough to highlight the coffee. Everything's about just getting people in and out, quick buck, and there's not enough actual coffee professionals opening coffee shops. There's too many business people opening coffee shops. On the flip side of that, there are a lot of really great coffee shops that are doing it right, and I think those ones are the standout. Some to mention are Say. I think Say is doing an incredible job.
Climbing Coffee.
I'm
saying Climbing Coffee.
Yeah, Climbing Wolf. Yeah. I mean, I think we're doing it. No, it's okay. I think we're doing an incredible job. Some others are Drip. They're another multi-roaster model. And then I actually don't think that multi-roaster is the only model to have. I think that there are standalone roasters that are doing an incredible job. I just think that in a market where I feel like people are constantly looking for the new thing, the multi-roaster model does that really well. It's kind of just constantly bringing in new places that are or new roasters that are doing incredible jobs. And there's another place that is doing really well called Watch House on 5th Avenue. They're actually a UK-based brand, but they just recently opened up their flagship in New York City, and I think they have an incredible. Their pour-over program they have a lot of frozen stuff from years ago that are rare and stuff. So, but there's a lot of other incredible shops. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of have to do your research and find them. I think there's another place that is a multi-roaster model in New York City called Suited. They're like kind of like on the lower end of the city in Manhattan, and they're doing an incredible job too. They're doing a lot of international import.
So there's this term that you hear in mature coffee countries, a multi-roast versus a single roast coffee store. I wanted Justin to tell us more about that.
Typically, and I think this is kind of like an outdated model, but a lot of times coffee shops they'll stick to one roaster, so they'll source from one roaster, only buy coffee from that one roaster, or they will roast coffee in-house, and they'll only exclusively serve the coffee that they roast themselves. With the multi-roaster model, we're constantly bringing in coffee from several different roasters. We're like constantly in contact basically with, I would say maybe like 10 to 12 different roasters at a time, constantly sifting through their menus, looking for coffees that we'd be like, oh, that would really do well here. And, so like a lot of times we'll order 50 pounds from Say, we'll order 50 pounds from Black and White, we'll order 50 pounds from Passenger, and so on and so forth. And like, basically every time you come here, you'll get to try something new. And we're very meticulous about what coffees we serve, on which grinder and what process and all that stuff. So there's a overall consistency still. You're still trying new things, but you're never gonna really, if you like something that's the same all the time, we can still accommodate that, but we can also accommodate the people who want to constantly try new things. We love seeing the new processes that are going on right now, from the different anaerobics to the different co-fermentations to the combinations of the different processes. We're seeing people doing anaerobic naturals and all these different things, and we're a big fan of honey processes here. So we love seeing the differences between, say, like a white honey all the way down to a black honey, and seeing all the differences in the fermentations and stuff like that. So it's really cool. We get to, I would say that I've gotten to develop my palate extensively because of this place, so yeah.
So the coffee industry in the coffee scene in Botswana is really important to me, and I wanted Justin to just share a couple of words of wisdom for those in the coffee industry in Botswana.
If you really love this, keep doing it. That's what I'm gonna say, because I feel like for a lot of people, this is just a job. And if you don't really love doing this, it becomes old fast, And luckily for me, I enjoy doing this. I love doing this. And the experiences for me have gotten better as time has gone on, and I feel like I've grown with the community and stuff like that. So what I will say is, if you love coffee and you enjoy and see yourself being in the industry and all that stuff, keep doing it, keep going, because it gets easier as things go on.
What makes Climbing Coffee unique as a coffee house?
Yeah, so I think the thing that we do really well here at Climbing Wolf is fostering the community. There are people that come here literally every day, and it's because they love this place so much, and the staff and all that, and they love the environment, the music, all that, the pop-ups that we do and all that stuff. And then it's like, it's one of those places that you can come and you can expect to not only get a good cup of coffee, but like you can come and have a conversation with someone. You can come and do your schoolwork, or like your stay-at-home work, or whatever you're doing, and sit here. You can also have a beer, like there's a lot of great things to do here. And it's a great place. People have met friends here. They've started relationships here and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just a great community. And then, on top of that, the coffee's fantastic. So we do our best to put out a good cup of coffee.
So what's like the process of getting an idea of a coffee that you want on the menu to it eventually getting on the menu?
Yeah, so I think that's probably, for me, one of the most fun parts of this job is, I took over the coffee buying part of the program here, and one of my favorite parts of this job is getting to sit down at the computer and looking at what all the different roasters have, all the different processes leading into the farmers, and what they're doing on the farm and all that stuff. And it's just really cool because we're kind of like always getting whatever is innovative. Like especially when say the co-fermentations were coming out recently, like I'd say probably in the last couple of years they've gotten really popular. We dove right into that. So whenever we hear something that sounds fun or funky or we think would translate well in say whatever brew methods we do. We love to experiment, and we're not afraid to say kind of take a loss on something either. Like if we do jump into something and it's not what we expected, or we didn't feel like it was going to take on well, we'll just pull it and we'll figure out something to do with it. But we're not afraid to experiment here, and I think that's the one thing that we do well here is we allow customers to. We always have something for them. If they want something that is the same thing all the time, some people like consistency, but other people want to try fun things. So I think that's one thing we do well is being able to hit both of those demographics.
Yeah.
So yeah. So when I am doing the coffee buying, a lot of what I'm doing is making sure that there's something for everybody.
So there you have it. A big thank you to Justin and Climbing Wolf. If you're ever in New York, you have to pay Climbing Wolf and you enjoy an amazing coffee. Till the next time.
I try to make everybody's cup of coffee as if I'm making my own. And I think that's a philosophy that more baristas should have. Because I know for me, it's a disappointment when I walk into a shop and I get a shitty cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.